Hello everyone, I'm Smita Kumar, and today we have gathered to have a webinar on International Women's Day. And as we see that there are incredible women out there with whom we'll be discussing, women have definitely come a long way across, and we have seen there have been so many challenges also, but a lot of opportunities that have come across our ways. But yes, we have tried to, I mean, come over these challenges and make good pathways for us and for all the women who are following these paths. So, in keeping this with this year's IWT theme, that's Inspire Inclusion, I'd like to share some statistics with you to begin with. According to a report by Bain & Company, nearly 20% of enterprises in India are owned by women. So that means there is a good contribution, but yes, this needs to be increased. Also, crunch-based data stated women entrepreneurs received only about 2.3% of venture money in 2020. This clearly shows that women-led businesses are less likely to receive venture capital and funding than the male-led businesses. According to a report by Innovate Capital, of all the companies that received funding in 2019, only 12% had at least one female founder. And if we talk about white collar jobs, so only 100 out of the 2000 listed firms have women as MDs and CEOs. So you might be guessing that we have got a participation here, but yes, definitely we need to have more and more participation, which is and which needs to be increased definitely. And with forums like this, we can definitely have more and more women joining us in this challenge and getting their positions and getting more and more females inspired by the stories that we would be discussing and sharing today. It is more important than ever to achieve gender equality and women's well-being in all spheres of life. Like if we hope to build a sustainable and a thriving economy as a health planet, we definitely need to have more inclusion from the women workforce. But by 2030, there will be a startling $360 billion annual shortfall in gender equality measures, which presents a significant challenge. When women feel included, they experience a sense of belonging, relevance, and empowered contribution to their overall well-being and also prosperity of the society. Joining us, some remarkable women entrepreneurs sharing their insights and experiences today with us. So let's learn from their stories. Today, meeting the panelists of ours is Ranjita Vinil, and she's the founder of Sarthi Healthcare from Mumbai. We have Maitrey Kondape. She's also the co-founder of Startoon Labs, Hyderabad. We have Vandana Teji, founder of the Unicorn Peak Group. So let's start with Vandana. My question to you, Vandana, is what challenges have you encountered in your entrepreneurial journey, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest, I think, challenge was changing my employee self to an employer self. Okay, so with that, good morning, everybody. And it's a great opportunity, Smita and the team, for inviting all of us here. And yes, tomorrow we have Women's Day. But I celebrate women every day because I run an all-women team. And we extensively from all walks of life, all geographies in India. And, so I am answering to your question. As I said, the biggest challenge was myself, my mindset, I think. Because, when you have been working for around 12 years in the corporate world and was set to an income coming regularly on a daily, a monthly basis. And, it is easy to say that, oh, I want to become an entrepreneur. But the day your salary doesn't hit you, there is no payday. So accepting that was the biggest challenge because of course being a working woman for all your life, you are exposed to financial liberty, and now you do not want to become anybody's liability. Okay, so you better make sure that everything was running. And if I fast forward, when my company got registered, I was trying to gather speed within a span of 1 year. Also within the span of 1 year, we were hit by COVID.
Yes.
Okay. So I was like, oh my God, do I want to, even if I want to go back to the corporate world, nobody is going to take me back because everybody is now laying off. And where's the opportunity to continue work? So it was like a do or a die. And yes, so that was my second challenge. The third challenge was changing the mindset of people in the MSME sector, which is like a struggle on a daily basis. I work extensively in the MSME sector. I work with the startups. Okay. And what happens is that, startup owner want to save money. Okay. And in order to save money, they will do everything, only failing to realize this now this time which they have invested into what is not core to their business, they are losing business. So making them understand, I think it's like a never ending job for us. In fact, we still have a breakthrough with a lot of startup owners, the youngsters. They understand, they see value in the HR outsourcing services that we provide, but then convincing the family run businesses, or they have one, either they do it or there's an admin guy who does it, and they don't. It's still in India is, even though we all say that human resource is the most care resource that is available for business, but I think these are my top three challenges. Thank you.
So as I just shared another fact here, like the ILO, for an example, estimates that 50% of women entrepreneurial potential is underused. That means like compared with just 22% of men's. And according to the World Bank, there are around 104 out of 190 countries still have legal barriers to women's entrepreneurship. So we definitely need to have more and more reforms as we see, and more such kind of collaborations and associations where the women as co-founders or founders are supported in their entrepreneurial journey. So Ranjita,
Correct.
what were the challenges you faced during you were building up Sarthi?
Oh, and I'm thanks, Smita, for having us in this forum. And I don't know whether I would like to say it was a challenge because I think my story goes long back. I started my career in 1996, and for those days I was already a B Farm, topped my college, university, did my MBA. I was financially independent, and we need to relate to that timing because even when I joined the corporate life, I was one of the 50 that used to travel with all the men around. So my journey actually started then, being there, where most women had to be a rebel to achieve that. So that's me. Life has been great and nothing to complain. So I did my corporate life. I worked for a large company in the pharma industry called Aventis for almost 12, 13 years. And I survived breast cancer. So it was back then in 2006. So rocking career, I was already driving a car when I was 29, 30 those days, went up the ladder. And yes, when I say went up the ladder there in a corporate office, you can imagine the other challenges, but which we will talk about later. But to add to that, I survived breast cancer. And those days, unlike today, there was limited treatment and people actually connected it to death, etc., etc. But as luck would have it, I was actually handling a cancer portfolio at the All India level. And I hated, and that work. My always waited to move out of that therapy because I couldn't see people in pain. Like people say, don't run away from anything. And I myself.
That's overwhelming to know that you survived, and you are like a true example of courage and victory, because see, we were dealing with patients out there and dealing with the same problem yourself, so it might be,
Absolutely.
it would be very very difficult.
But also, Smita, I started the organization. I was successful in whatever definition of success for a corporate woman is for those days very much. But because after my survival, I really thought, what do I do? What do I do with my life? Can I do something more meaningful? Because, like I already shared with you all, that I did survive cancer. I was handling a portfolio, which meant dealing with a healthcare professional, of course, the branding. I'm not going to talk about my marketing stuff out here, but I also dealt with patient relations there, because that was one of the multinational which believed in just not selling the medicine to the doctors, but also going beyond and doing little bit, how do you work with them to ensure the products that we were selling to them gave them benefit. To cut the long story short, That's when I started Sarthi. So Sarthi Healthcare Private Limited is a disease management company which actually works, and it started, the meaning itself says it's like the Sarthi. So it's here to guide, help, and that's what the organization was. I started it in 2008. And the first month we broke even. All my friends those days thought I won't have any work. And like just Vandana said, right? Paycheck, loans, liability, we get used to all that. And here I was trying to do so very conceptual for the country like India, and industry was used to spending on doctors for education. Nobody thought that that some budget should be used for the patient management stuff, although it's a very common concept in the West. All insurance company do it, right? So but it was the first month. We always started from an office. We had a contract of large company, and we broke even in the first month. So that's the starting of entrepreneurial journey. Having said this, there are challenges. There were challenges more than when you're a woman, you're doing something conceptual, you're facing large companies. And Vandana, let me tell you, it's not just the MSME who behave like that. Because even large company policies are made by company, it's people. They wouldn't pay you. They will make it's the same. It's people in India. So we all face as entrepreneurs. So the whole point is today as an organization, we've probably helped more than 50-60 lakhs of patients, and we are not a retail company. We don't charge anything to the patients. We work on behalf of the industry and render our services across India free of cost. So that's what we do.
That's great to know. Metri, you also please share how you started Startoon and what were the challenges, and also the how you overcame them.
Yeah. Thank you for having me today. I come with an electronics engineering background. I'm an alumnus of IIT Madras and IIM Ahmedabad. I'm a core researcher. I try new innovations and doing research. And I was working in company earlier, and after working for a few years, startup was basically I always wanted to create impact with the work that I'm doing, because as a researcher, one option I can have is just have patents and research papers in my name. But we also learned when I was studying that it's not that enough. We have to go beyond that and make our research available to the people whom we are designing it for, and see the impact in front of us. So right, that's the core intention of the work that I was doing from the beginning. So all the companies which I was working earlier are also aligned with that. And when we had a thought of starting our own company with the same vision of building innovations in the space of medical sector, because medical technology is one segment where there are a lot of imports happening in terms of equipment, either electronics or surgical equipment. We just import the products. We don't have our core innovations built in India, which are at world class. So that's the thing that we wanted to address. So me and my husband, we are husband and wife duo who started this company. Core intent of building world class products in India, but also addressing the problem which is across the world. So that's how it started, with the core vision of having an innovation which is solving a problem with very naive knowledge of what can be a business, because coming from research background, obviously we are not exposed to much of the business. So we were learning it hard way, like through the process of entrepreneurship. So it's a very good learning experience every day. So every day we learn new things, because we learn about a lot of market research or regulatory or sales or a lot of things. So that's how it started. So the challenges, probably I would say, is in general for any researcher turning an entrepreneur, because like when you come from a marketing or sales background, you would again need a development team who would do it. So we did the other way, where we are the researchers and we are working with the sales and marketing partners who would work with us. So that's the thing. But we are very happy about the impact that we have created, and also growing in that direction. So we have created a space where which is completely neglected in the field of medical sector, which is the joint and muscle health. Muscle health is a space which is specifically for ortho neuro conditions, where we, like, everyone will have some or the other pain, like especially women after 45 will have either neck pain or back pain, which is impacting our daily activity. And with our, so we have created a technology where we can do the screening, diagnostics, followed by digital therapy end to end in terms of physiotherapy. And also, if it is little serious, then we also recommend to see a doctor. Like, we work with the doctors and physiotherapists in this space. And we, in the last 1 year, I'm very happy to tell this here, because on the occasion of Women Health, that we have also started working on pelvic floor health of women, which is again very neglected space, where people, women suffer with urinary incontinence after menopause or during the pregnancy or childbirth. So at these stages, there are a lot of muscle challenges, muscle transitions which happen in the body, which we are not aware of, or if we are aware of, we don't know what to do, or we don't talk about it or take it seriously. So these are the segments. So the muscle health is one space that we are working with. So which we see as an untouched space, not only in India but across the world. So the challenges in this segment will be more of like from the women entrepreneur thing. I would say that it takes little more effort to show that I'm a serious entrepreneur, right? So like I have to, like, probably even now, maybe like if I don't uh, put out myself out there, and if I just try to underline that I am a researcher, then people would not take me seriously. So I have to put extra effort to show that I'm an entrepreneur and this is my company. But otherwise, in general, when I see my other male counterparts, they would not have to specially make an effort to show that I'm the CEO of the company, or I'm the entrepreneur of the company. So that is one difference which I usually see when a women entrepreneur is going out and talking about uh, that this is my innovation and this is the product that I'm here to pitch for. So that's one thing that I see, and it's been there consistently for a very long time. Like from the day, like initially people would think that I'm a sleeping partner in the company. So I would have to tell specifically, no, I'm putting equal effort in the company to run the company. So this probably a male entrepreneur would not face it. So this is one difference which I find. But otherwise, everything else is similar to any, like, it's not gender specific. All the other challenges are common, even if I'm a woman or a male entrepreneur. So other things are a part of learning process through the journey. That's what I feel.
We also have Sonia. Thank you so much, Maitrey. And we also have Sonia Kulkarni here. She's the managing partner at Hung Golden and Media, Mumbai. So I would like to have with you some questions and some discussion that we were having here. So
Yes.
your scenarios in, like, as you were like working and when you started working, like, have you dealt any time with gender related challenges in this business world?
To be honest, this is my favorite topic because while, I mean, the very fact that we as women are even raising this question, which means that there is still the gender bias,
Yes.
that exists. And I think it's going to go a long way. And to be very honest, the gender bias is not necessarily a pure male gender bias. It's also female to female. And, I think we need to also address this because there are a lot of issues that we as women, and I'm sure the male counterparts also do face. Maybe they don't really talk about it, but I was working all along. I've been in leadership roles. I'm an MBA finance by background, and I got into PR by an accident. And I've been in the field of public relations and media for over 28 years. And then about 8 years, I decided that enough of working for someone else, and it wasn't nourishing my soul. And one of the reason, that point in my time where I decided to quit and start, on my entrepreneurial journey, was this. It pushed me to a corner where, while I was a star performer, while I was, making enough P&L and, taking care of my businesses independently, I was actually told by then boss that, while you are the candidate to become the next CEO, but, we'll have to give you another year, because in seniority, there was my male colleague who was in the organization for many years, and probably they didn't know how to tell him that he is not going to be the CEO. And I got very, I mean, I started soul searching. And I introspected and I said, and I told my boss that I've spent 7 years in this organization. I have more than proved myself. And yet I have to answer this. I mean, I would really would have expected you to take this up for me. And if you are telling me this in confidence one on one, then why not stand up? And then I realized that of course it was a waste of time and energy to have this fight, and I was not willing to give it another year. So I mean, this was something which made me step out, and then I'm very glad at also that point in time I was going through my own separation and divorce. It was very difficult time of my life, but great learnings. The gender bias issues you're always and constantly facing. I just heard the previous speaker talking about the perception that, oh, are you a sleeping partner, or are you even involved, or are you even an expert, or do you even have the knowledge? I mean, to give a very small example, just recently I had gone for a client pitch. The client was introduced to me by another reference. The client is in the business where the target is women, and I have gone for that meeting with my business partner who is a male colleague. And throughout the conversation, this gentleman who is only looking at my business partner and talking to him as if I don't even exist in the room. And hello, we are talking about women, we are talking about women issues, we are talking about creating PR strategies to address them, and you're not even looking at me. Why? you know so this will continue to exist unless we stand up, raise a voice. And then of course, when you raise your voice, you are being looked upon as a very strong, aggressive woman, and then the others in the room will get intimidated by you. But nevertheless, I think it's very important to raise that voice. I mean, many such examples. Yeah, when I had my second child, I remember I was going to office. I would reach at 9, leave at 6. And again, I had a CEO then who I was reporting into was very insecure. So I was called into the room for a meeting, and he said, hey, I have this complaint about you. And I said, really, what is the complaint? So he said, no, everybody is looking at you as if you're always in a hurry to leave, and that's not going well with the team. And I just looked at him and I said, "What is the problem? Are you getting any, client complaints? Is any matter getting escalated? Is any work that's not been done? Because you've seen my mails and presentations coming to you even at 12 in the night." I said, "Yes, I have to leave at 6. I have 2 children, and I'm going through a divorce, and I have my younger one is a baby, and unlike my other colleagues, I don't take smoke breaks. I come at 9. I have my lunch on the desk. I'm not taking 1 hour lunch break or tea breaks or whatever.
Yes.
And it is the company policy to get up, come to office at 9 and leave at 6. But what is the issue? I mean, I'm so sorry if the other guys don't want to go home early. Maybe they have a challenge at home because they start their work at 4. And if you are encouraging an unhealthy atmosphere, how does it matter? Like, how does it help me and or anybody? In fact, you should be taking up and telling everybody that, please follow this example. Have I not addressed any mails? Have I, not met any client deadlines? And this is pure harassment. If you find somebody who is doing great at work, then you have then of course I also had other challenges as a female boss, as a female entrepreneur today. When you have a team and you're pushing them to be a little ambitious or aggressive or get them out of the comfort zone, also it's not accepted. So it's a vicious circle. But I think if you stand your ground, if you have what you're doing is right, you're true to yourself and true to the work, I think it should just get you. These are minor deterrents, but at times it does get you to introspect, right?
Definitely. And as you spoke, there were so many stories that we all can recollect when we were starting and building up our entrepreneurial
Absolutely.
journey. Because see, it's the same out there. And as Rajita very rightly said, that it's the people where the mindset needs to be changed, and definitely through these forums. And as Medicircle being a healthcare focused media platform, we always try to bring more and more women. My throwback to the society is definitely having more women folks at my offices and my companies, even if they are a little bit lesser, because I think that they don't need those opportunities everywhere. So when I was starting my IT company, I definitely make it a point to have more women. And when we talk about women, one, two good things about them, they are more honest. I think we are very much dedicated to the work. We stick to the timelines. We follow the policies, and that's quite good, because as as somebody as you just shared that yes, we are going on time. And it's not wrong to go on time, because if we are able to complete everything and our task on the right time. So we also have Dr. Neha Gupta here. And hi, Neha. She's the founder at Innovate.
So good to see so many women entrepreneurs doing good in their fields and are successful. And truly, I could even recollect some stories from my experience when I heard their stories, other entrepreneur stories.
Yes, we
But
definitely.
honestly, being female and starting something on your own brings a lot of challenges. As female, you are judged, and people think that being woman, you are not smart enough to do your work more efficiently. First of all, I am physiotherapist, and I'm a healer as well, energy healer. I do healings and physiotherapy. I conduct sessions for the companies and organizations in relation to their health and wellness. So when I used to network and meet people, mostly men are the one who are actually holding position at the higher levels, and they would always try to take advantage of you whenever you work. They want your attention and extra time, and they would ask that if we can go out for a drink or something else. So it's really difficult to network, meet people, and work professionally, because with women, I don't know why, it's really challenging for them to stay in their stay on professional grounds and work ethically. So this is the challenge I've always faced. But otherwise, yeah, of course, I can relate to the stories where a man think that these professions are for man exclusively. Women are not the proper perfect fit for that. But yes, otherwise, yeah, as I can see, there are a lot of strong women who stood their ground and have been working successfully. Then we can actually change the future and bring a better future to the society, and of course, we can bring a lot of change in the world.
Definitely. As we
Yeah.
recollect, and when we were starting building up, but at the same time, did we have so many accesses to all these forums? I guess that we need to have more and more such forums and associations where women founders as share their problems, whatever they are facing, and also share their experiences so that they can learn from others' experiences. Definitely. Metri, can you just please mute your mic?
Yeah, definitely. If we team up together, yeah, I'm so sorry. If we team up together and we are working hand in hand together, supporting each other, then of course we can actually prove that yes, we are competitive enough, we are smart enough, we are skillful, and we can do better. So there is no gender bias in the work, in the profession. It's all about how much you know about your craft, and it means how good you are at your work and everything, and that's what matters in the end.
Like if we talk about the changing landscape for women entrepreneurs in the coming years, in India, the proportion of women in leadership positions has plummeted from 29% at the senior level to a startling 18% at the managerial level. So from 130 in 2017 to 3,644 in May 2023, that's the latest figure. And the number of women-led businesses in these significant D2C sectors has grown by more than 2,700% in only a single year. And women dominate the workforce as well as shaping the future of the country, where over 30 million more women-owned businesses are expected to provide around 150 to 170 million jobs by 2030. Isn't that incredible? So I'll just like to ask you that whether any kind of advice that you would like to give to the young women aspiring to become entrepreneurs.
So, Smita, I think it's a very, very relevant point. Why is the change coming? We're talking about gender biases, etc. Women in our country are going to be more and more educated. Where is it all? Where is it all stemming from? It's about education. The crux is there. When mothers are more educated, whether it's a girl child or a boy child, they will be educated. The openness and what we can achieve. See, needless to say that there is strength that we have as women. But also, I ran I had random 350 people, women organization. Trust me, it's not easy. Let's be honest about it. We keep talking in all forums about equality, etc. But this little percentage of women who out there behave that is expected professionally out of them. That's the percentage. Because most often we take our, let's say, responsibilities as excuses for not doing a lot of things. But I think I'm sure there's a long way to go, but we are going to be great, because I think the level of education amongst women and being financially independent is now a necessity. Not because one wants money, but it's because they can take decisions, they can be powerful, and they can be confident above all. And we see the change, and it's not just about the jobs, but you look at different walk of life. And that this change is important, it is going to happen. And the whole idea is we have to be persistent, and we also shouldn't play our women card and be professionally very, 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 very sound. So some, one would, lot of my talks, people would add, most of the time speakers before me, after me, will have so many stories to narrate about how men behaved in a particular manner. But trust me, I have no stories. I have been successful professionally. I have been successful as an entrepreneur. For some point in time in life, because I've done the full circle. Just to tell you, my company has been taken over by also a listed company. Just last week, I've signed the deal.
Wow, that's
The journey of entrepreneur in this journey gave employment to 350, more than 350, 400 people. So I'm saying the small mercies, right? Everybody has a different objective, but being able to do something which didn't exist in India, or to employ so many people, or create that need, or help 60 lakhs patients with these people. I think these are small objectives I had. I didn't want to make a $1 billion company, etc., etc. So point I'm saying, we do meet in this journey a lot of women who use their card differently. So I think we should not be worried about being intimidating. That's the very common word I have over. We need to have that aura that we are as professional as them. We can be unlucky to meet 1% of such people that we can't ignore, but then there is rest. And let's all focus on that. And be the intimidating self, because if you're not a rebel, we are not intimidating, you don't, and I run my own company, so there is no men to say, oh, she's a sleeping partner. Fortunately, I do have colleagues for last 14 years who who were running pharmaceutical companies, joined me as an entrepreneur, but never had this. So I think God's been kind, let me put it this way. But then let's not you know uh, feel anyone out there that there's something that we cannot do because we are going to face more challenge than the men. So that's my simple take.
definitely. And but there are some statistics also, Ranjita, that show that around 48% of women in business lack the competent advisors to guide them through entrepreneurship, because most
Absolutely.
of them, they don't know whom to approach or where to go. So I was just trying to raise this kind of awareness, because definitely it's your own journey. And definitely, as you said, that it's very, very common to have 1% of those kind of men where you can feel that you'll be judged by the gender. But beyond that, definitely you have your own talents and skill. You have your own networking, and you need to go ahead with so many challenges. And it's just a part of the journey. And any male or any female, entrepreneur would face in this. But definitely we need more such kind of associations where we
Of
definitely
course.
can help people network and make this support easily, so that they can
Smita,
recommend.
really appreciate what you are doing, because yes, this is what we need. And strong women always support women, because but all women do not support women. Trust me on this. I mean,
Very
uh,
right.
so we should create, and I would suggest you make it a bigger platform, because I remember speaking on women's web few times. They started many years ago, like this, and they made it big. So I would suggest anything that's required, and let's do it. Let's give it back. Let's help people, young generation, and see what we could do.
Surely. And what is your take, Maitre, on this? Because as there are so many female co-founders and entrepreneurs who would be watching this and seeing this video. So what is your suggestion, and how would you like to contribute?
Um, so, like the entrepreneurial journey itself is a difficult one. Like there are lots of ups and downs. And current generation, I would believe that uh, to restore their balance in basically to be able to handle it and bring more confidence in building it by themselves. So we see now we see that like, if people are giving up, right? So it's not for them, and especially for women, there is no option to give up if you want to do something for yourself, either in a job or in an entrepreneurship, right? So in general, my advice would be is not give up and uh, do it with full heart from your side, and things will happen. Like, we have to put a lot of effort. It's not that things will fall in place by itself. It's a lot of effort in multiple ways that we have to put in, but never give up and keep trying till you reach the level that you wanted to be and that you wanted to see yourself to be in. So that's my advice.
Thank you so much, Maitre, for this. Sonia, would you like to close with some of your suggestions that you would like to share with these women entrepreneurs here?
Yes, I think it's a beautiful journey. As one of the speakers said, you have to remain steadfast on your goals and look at your blessings. However small these goals are, well, of course, we're ambitious and we have big, audacious goals, but every day there are positives, and I only see this as lessons. There might be disappointment, there might be failures, and I always say it's never over till it's over. And even if it's over, you can start it all over again, because, women are resilient, women are strong, we are very, very mentally strong. Just shut down the noises. Opinions should not matter, they don't pay your bills. Be very focused and be very professional. Never ever think you're inadequate, or even if somebody is trying to dominate you. And again, I always say, for while we are women and entrepreneurs and we're talking about this from a women perspective, I'm not really a feminist, because I believe that it's an equal world and it should be an equal world. Unfortunately, things don't really play out like that. But we have to be also sensitive, because as one of the speakers say, if you keep playing a women card, I remember my father, and I always have great male support. My father has been greater support, my sons are my great support. I have professional, and even in my fitness journey, I work very closely with Milind Soman. I'm a Pickathon ambassador. I started running at the age of 40, and today I do long distances. So males, they play a very important role in our lives, and we should not really ignore that. Like he told me, my father told me, when I reached, almost thought it was a dead end, and he said, "You were born to be a tigress, and don't just surrender like that. Don't let anyone trample over you. Love is fine, emotions are fine. Sometimes you feel that, okay, you want to achieve, and there are hardships. As an entrepreneur, you will go through, like, every day is a new day. You have challenges, you have cash flow challenges, you have team issues, you have clients. In certain times you feel okay, you have achieved a certain, but you're trying to take a step forward and you are taking two steps back. And those are the times when you have to just shake up yourself and remind, why are you doing this? What is it about that is motivating you to just get up? I always say, get up every day. If there are battles, choose your battles. Get up, show up for yourself, dress up, put on that attitude, that you're going to fight it out, you're going to win it. And then I don't think any challenges will seem as big, because if you allow the challenges to seem too bigger than what you are really capable of doing, and you will find a way. If you have this constant, and biggest thing, because it's a Medicircle platform, we're talking about health. Also, I think I want to really address this, because I do a lot of work in empowering women through health and fitness. Is we ignore our health and fitness, and I think that is the root cause of a lot of our issues. Whether it's emotional imbalances, hormonal imbalances. I mean, take 15 minutes. We are concerned about the health of our families, our children, our husbands, our extended families. But what do we really do? If you take 15 minutes, just take 15 minutes to remain and be active, to stay fit, whether it's running, walking, Zumba, yoga, kuch bhi ho. It will just declutter yourself, it will liberate you. You can see the glow, the confidence, the motivation you will get to just take on the world. And I have been and this is not just for women entrepreneurs, this is also for all women, especially women who are above 40. You will realize that you know what happens? We need validation, right? You're not happy with yourself, you're not happy with your
Yes.
body, but what are you doing to improve it? You know, we go on these talk shows, we listen about mindfulness, right eating, but are you being active? Are you staying fit? Are you, you know, taking that 15 minutes time to just regenerate yourself? And this is my, and in all forums I go, you know, I've attended the Business Today Women CEO Awards, and we had amazing women there, glorified women there. And trust me, I could see that so many of them are not really truest, you know, truly fit or healthy. And nobody talks about this. You know, it's a very small step, but a very big step, because a woman of the house who is fit and healthy, you know, her is equal to a fit family, is equal to a fitter society and a fitter country. I mean, whatever Prime Minister is doing for Fit India movement, it's a big talk and a big vision, but let's start small. Let's motivate each other. And I think these are very, very important. Like, I use my running to literally, you know, I get so many thoughts, I declutter myself, I get a perspective. You're becoming more receptive, you know, you become more accepting to you yourself, your situation. You're not so hard on yourself because you're pushing your limits then, right? Anything you do physically, which, I mean, I got into adventure, so many things opened for me. Like, before, I wasn't doing all those things. So I think these are my last you know, concluding statements. But I think as a community, I believe we strong women grow stronger women. We need this tribe to grow. We need, you know, each other to adjust each other's crown to correct. You know, it's also important to become the sounding board, or to tell, you know, hey, listen, like someone said, you know, it's not about you know, just feeling like a victim. I always tell women, you know, drop the word struggle and victim from your, you know, dictionaries. It's about who you are, understand and know yourself better. And that impacts your business, that impacts your aura, that impacts the people around you, that impacts, you know, it just changes the atmosphere. You walk in confidently with that attitude. It is definitely going to help and matter, you know. So I think there's a lot that needs to be done, said, spoken, but I think we need action also. In many forums we really talk about it, but then people just forget. So, and then create support groups. I think women work beautifully. You know, we see it in families, we see it in sisterhood, we see in friends. A lot of, you know, those things that happen. Likewise, I think it's important, like I created a platform, She Dares, to, you know, help women entrepreneurs, just because I'm in PR, you know, to give them that visibility, to help them, you know, improve their, you know, make them more complementary skills, so that, you know, women can work together. You know, while you may be good at your product, you may not be good at certain, you know, aspects of the business, or you may not be good at branding, or you may not be. So why not work together and complement each other? There is money follows good work, money follows passion, but in some way, if you can work together and, you know, do it just for the pure you know, what to say, for the tribe, you know, and share that aspect of yourself, your strength, your skill, and which can help somebody else to do better. I think that's the beauty part, that's beautiful, you know, for women. And we can do so much more. We don't need to be insecure, we don't need to have, you know, issues. In fact, we all can, you know, grow together and, you know, take the world together, like.
That's really great. I mean, Sonia, this is one of the most important key takeaways that you shared. That we definitely discuss about a lot of factors, but we need to first implement them on ourselves. We need to take those 15 minutes definitely for ourselves and do anything what we like, as there were so many activities. We can definitely always take care about the family and everybody else, but very little about ourselves. So that's something that we should definitely be doing. If we are not, because I myself, I read, I play football, I play basketball. So there are some games that I like to play. I used to play from school, and I'm still continuing because this is something. And sometimes my legs used to, I mean, pain in the initial years, but now it has all subsided. Now I have been able to play a lot, like many women at my age wouldn't be able to. So that's something that has been a welcoming change, and I have been doing it for long, and it is actually it's a good stress buster. I mean, trust me, it's like so much helpful for our mental health also. So, closing out here, we'll be just having Vandana's take. Vandana, some inspiring words for you also.
Thank you. It was great listening to everybody. You know, answering that question, right? Can you unmute?
Yeah, so as there is just one, like I just shared another fact here, like around 3.5% of the equity investment for the first half of 2023 went to female-led businesses, and the percentage of the total investment on women-led businesses dropped from 4% in 2018 to 2% in 2021. So we keep these investments, and we see changes in investments where female entrepreneurs are there. So what kind of support network would you recommend to aspiring women entrepreneurs, especially for investment and inclusion? Because inclusion and investing in women and accelerating progress is the theme for this year's International Women's Day.
Okay, so let me just add one thing. In Marathi, there's a very common ad which says "Mulgi sikli, pragati jhali." Though Marathi is not my mother tongue, but I really love this statement, this quote. It sounds so much. Whatever Ranjita said, what Sonia said, what Maitri said, it is exactly, education is prime. But what is more important, is expectation settings. What happens when you don't do the right expectation settings? Then you are forced to play the woman card. Everybody was talking about the women card, but I'm taking a step back because I work extensively with women, work with employees from all over the globe, not just India. Okay. So you have to understand what forces us to play that women card. That is the first mistake that we do, that we do not do the expectation setting correctly. How can you imagine? Whenever I see those Women's Day ads, when I see, goddess Durga, we have 20 hands and we can manage everything 20. We are that perfect woman. No, we are not that perfect women. Please accept it. This is my thing to the future women. Don't be like us. Don't struggle to be that perfect woman. This is the goal that you have to understand. One goal for one life. Okay. There can be multiple other things to take care of your health, take care of your mental health, other things. But money comes from one goal, passion. Passion will give you money. If you're not passionate about it, you'll go mad. That is happening with a lot of women. Why women are struggling with so much of mental health issue? Is because of wrong expectations. We don't tell. Our family doesn't know that they are supposed to support. The expectation is when my employee goes, when I used to work and I used to go back home, the expectation is I will make chai for myself, coffee for myself, drink on my own, I'll make for the whole house also. Then I will go cook dinner also. What? I am human. I have worked for 9 hours now, 10 hours. And then I'm expected to work after cooking because my office work is still pending, as Sonia said. Okay? Now I'm expected to work in the night also. Usme bich mein dinner bhi pakaun main. Get a fucking maid. I'm sorry to use this language, but then yes, please get a maid. Support system, build that up. Who will cook is not your only one person should not think about it. Everybody should think about it. Distribute work. Create a corporate structure internally in your family. Once you have that, only then. Strong women are not just built by on their own. People who are doing it, you know how much of pressure it is on that woman? So much of pressure. We all are breaking apart, but we are smiling. What? Jaldi nashta banaya, jaldi khaya, coffee piya. You see, that is happening.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
after this, you have to run for your meetings also. Okay, you have to be everywhere on time. You are 1 minute late. Everybody's like, oh, this is women come late. What do I say? It's human, not just women. I am traveling in Bombay traffic. I don't know. I am not driving that taxi. I tell that. We need to have those clear, not just with family members, with your clients also, with your office employees also. Have that expectation setting. Okay, yes, I came late. I will work extra hour and complete the number of hours and go home. The micromanagement in the corporate structure and in the family structure is so high. Today, if the woman goes half an hour late, where did you get stuck? I was not driving the car, I tell. Don't ask me this question ever. So I have very clear expectations set for my family. I will be able to do this. Do not expect me to do more than this. I have shifted my house like 2 days ago. I bought a new house and the entire society is worried. Why is this single woman taking this big bungalow? Okay. So that is another discussion. That is the era in which we live. That is how unfortunate it is. Okay. But then understand that if you are going to join, whether you become an employee, whether you become an entrepreneur, choice is yours. And yes, if there are days you don't want to get out of the bed, don't get out. Be point blank. I tell my employees don't have to tell me the reason for taking leaves. Why am I supposed to know the reason? What will I do with that reason? No massaging egos. No, not required. You can tell you have this leave policy. If I tell them this is your client, how you manage is your point of view, your prerogative. You have taken the responsibility out of it. But that doesn't stop you from taking a day out off for mental health. No, I disagree a little on this, Sonia, that there are days I don't want to wake up because I am mentally so, I'm not in a position to come out of the bed. I just want to be there, relax myself. I have earned that, taking 1 or 2 days of mental health. What is wrong in that? Nothing. I don't want to dress up. I don't want to look $1 million baby. No. I want to be the look, want to look the Kamwali of the house. Yes. Because that is so much of pressure. There are times you need those days for yourself. I don't want, the future women should not push themselves. How will you reach equality without getting the equity? Because we started at a -4. You can't expect us to function at a +4 with just 0 paisa in hand. So we need extra support, and this support is that equity which will help us match. I think that is the thing that you all have to understand.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we all need to understand and follow, like we need to ditch this super woman tiara, because we need to be ourselves, we need to be enough for ourselves, and we need to give that time to ourselves. That's something that's very important.
And the last point is being assertive. Assertive, saying it out. I know it is difficult. People will judge you. People will say that, they'll give you names because you are a strong woman, somebody who speaks her mind, and others, it happens. And I think everybody is smiling and they know they have been called names. Okay. And, there have been so many situations wherein people will try to avoid a direct conversation, go into conflict, because from conflict is the birth of a lot of things that will help you get respect.
Surely.
Don't get scared of having a conflict. Conflicts are positive.
Yeah, so that's some very, very cool and honest words, because definitely we are in our own battle actually. Most of the time, it's not with the world, it's with us, because we always tell, and first we don't take care of ourselves, and then we are always in this receiving end, which shouldn't be like this. So accept your imperfections and accept the way you are, and try to be yourself. Don't try to be a superwoman. It's not that. Try to get help from whomsoever who's there, either in your office or at your home, so that you can deliver and you are happy at the same time.
Asking for help is brave.
Yes.
Only brave women do. Brave people actually ask for help.
Definitely. Because see, men generally never shy away from asking for help. So why women are actually given this tiara of a superwoman, that she can manage home and she can manage everything. It's not that easy. I myself have 2 kids, and it's sometimes it's difficult. I have a meeting and I have my son's exam, and I have to prioritize both. And I have those days when I have missed some of those his school events and I wasn't there. And that guilt is always there. We always talk about this mompreneurs and mother guilt. But yes, it's there. But yes, we need to come out of it, and let's not feel depressed or sorry about it. It's just a part of life, and if it is good to sometimes ditch some things and be at the place where you actually want to be, and just not to show the world that okay, you are such great and you can do everything. It's actually so much intimidating. It's actually so much depressing for ourselves that sometimes our mental health becomes an issue for it, because we are over expecting from ourselves, and where we should be asking for help. And there's actually no shame in taking somebody's help and managing things, because together we can achieve a lot of things, and alone it's really, really difficult. It's a alone journey. So let's continue to support and uplift each other. Very happy International Women's Day to all the incredible women out there. And thank you so much for coming out, taking out your valuable time and coming to our show at Medicircle. Let's definitely continue supporting each other and empowering other women. Also, some key takeaways, as let's ditch the superwoman tiara and be yourself. You are enough. We can together definitely celebrate the strength and resilience and the achievements of so many women, even if they're not working. Like as we always say, like whenever somebody asks me who inspires you the most, so I always tell it's my mother. Why? Because she has never been a working woman, but the way she used to do everything and the impact that my mother had on my life, it's incredible. So it's just not about working women or being at home. It's being yourself and doing the best in your efforts. So thank you so much once again for joining us. Have a very happy International Women's Day to all.